city of mine, it never gets me down, yeah.
I was born in the city, I was raised on its edges. My pop worked his life on its complex. I found love in its center. If I could live here forever, think it.
Several months later.
What is going on, EP Lifers? Welcome back to the channel. Long time no see. I know. You're probably wondering why I've been gone for a whole 2 months. On YouTube it says a month, but I feel like it's been almost 2 months. You're gonna find out why while I tame this beast. Okay, so let's get this started. Let's start by parting this guy right here. I missed you guys. I can't believe it's been so long since I've recorded a video. It's crazy business. And so many things were supposed to happen that didn't happen because of what I'm about to tell you. Like the whole channel's schedule. Look at this, look at this. You see this? Look at this. Look at this. Lord. The whole channel schedule got thrown off. First things first, the main reason why I've been gone is I am preggo. I am pregnant, guys. I am having a baby. So today I am anywhere between 14 to 15 weeks. I say that because every time I go to my appointments, baby is measuring about a week ahead. Let's take this on back to May, right? So in May, I was anticipating the Cruella premiere, and I would say throughout the entire month of May, from like the second week on, I felt weird, I felt off. I'm using this Garnier flat iron protector because I'm not trying to burn my hair. Like I just didn't feel well. I felt really like under the weather and just off. So fast forward to the day that Cruella was supposed to premiere on Disney Plus. I was supposed to get the premiere access. I was supposed to, you know, come home from work, watch Cruella. Well, I ended up having this horrible day at work. I ended up leaving work late. It was raining. There was no time to watch Cruella. There was no time to watch Cruella with David. It just became a whole thing. It got to the point where I started to feel so crappy that I was like, something is definitely off. I said I am not going to take a pregnancy test until my period is a week late. David swore up and down that I was pregnant because he said the behaviors resemble the behaviors from last year. And I said I am not taking the test and getting my hopes up until I'm a week late. And I say that because last month, cycle came, same time, lasted about the same time. Now remember, the video will be here or here, I never remember how this works, on my miscarriage story. This is my second pregnancy. I had a miscarriage found at 11 weeks and I miscarried at 7 weeks. And then I ended up having what they call a missed abortion, which is taking misoprostol at home to remove the tissue from the miscarriage from my body, and it not going successfully. So essentially I had a miscarriage, a missed abortion, which led to a D&C in February this year. So with that being said, and again, if it doesn't pop up on the cards, I will link it in the description below. In April, I had all these symptoms that I truly thought I was pregnant. And on the 7th day, making me a week late, I got my period. So I was devastated. So I really thought that I wasn't gonna get pregnant in May. And I told David that if in May, come what may, we don't get pregnant, I wanted to take a break. Because we were tracking ovulation, we were doing all the things. And after March, which I got my cycle back pretty quickly after my D&C, After March, not successful. After April, not successful. I was like, that's the universe telling me to chill out. So, did not expect to have a late period in May to no period at all in May. So, I think it was the 7th day. My period was late. And David was like, you need to take a test. You need to take a test. And this is like at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, I really don't want to take a test without the first morning urine. He was like, I don't think it matters. So I got to a point that I was like, all right. I'll take the test. I literally peed on the stick. I only use Clear Blue digital pregnancy test. Literally peed on the stick and ran out the bathroom. I couldn't watch. I couldn't watch. I didn't want to get my hopes up. I just couldn't deal with the anticipation, right? Last time I took the test, last year when I found out I was pregnant, me and Nala were in the bathroom alone, and I didn't want to do that again. So, peed on the stick, washed my hands, told David, you go look at the stick. So if you're not familiar with the digital pregnancy test, they have these progress bars. And they go across and it's 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar result. So David said the test went from 1 bar to 3 bars to pregnant, right? It went so fast. So of course I cried. I didn't want to film it because I felt that was very intimate and private between David and I, especially after everything we've been through. And I just couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm pregnant. This is crazy. So my doctor, who's affiliated with a hospital, they don't have you come in to confirm pregnancy. You have to see them at the 6th or 7th week for them to do blood, ultrasound, whatever. So because I miscarried, and by my period and all that and my cycle, it had that I was already 5 weeks. So I didn't want to wait to go to the doctor's office. So I messaged my doctor and I'm like, what can be done? Obviously it's too early to see anything, all of that. She made me come in for what they call HCG testing and progesterone testing. So essentially what that is they check the HCG in your blood, the progesterone, and then you have to go back 48 hours after that test to compare. So the HCG, I don't remember the numbers. If I have them, I'll put them on the screen. But the HCG doubled in 48 hours. The progesterone dropped by a number. So once she noticed that the progesterone dropped, she said, okay, I'm going to put you on progesterone. So she put me on a progesterone pill for 30 days. And that I was supposed to take at night before I went to bed. And of course, me being me, I missed 2-3 pills, right? So I didn't finish it in 30 days. I finished it in 34 days. So the time comes for the appointment. So David was passionate about going to every single appointment, and he still is. He's very good about it. He's very good at changing his schedule because he's the one that works nights. He's beyond flexible, and I'm so grateful. Get to the appointment. David is not immediately allowed upstairs. They have to wait for me to get a room. Once I get a room, he's called up. So the nurse takes my blood pressure, and it's disgustingly high. So she's like, why is your blood pressure so high? And I'm like, I'm very nervous. I had a miscarriage. I don't know what to expect. She was like, you need to calm down because your blood pressure stays this high. I have to keep you here. And there's a hospital right around the corner. You will go to the hospital. So David came in the room. He was like, babe, your blood pressure. I was like, yeah, I know. Because of course it's on the freaking screen. We saw the little bean. Little bean was not moving. And they had a very, very strong heartbeat. So I was measuring accordingly. The due date that I got on my pregnancy app matched what she had. So all of that looked good. And then she was like, okay, I have to take urine, I have to take blood. So I hear her talking to her little, receptionist person. They wanted to run additional tests because my blood pressure was so high. And I was like, really, bro? One time. So took the blood, everything, went about my merry way. So now that we've got that story time out of the way, I'm gonna go through, I have my iPad here while I'm doing my hair, multitasking. all the chapter topics I wanted to talk to you guys about. So the first thing is, anybody that has had a loss can attest to this. Pregnancy after a loss is incredibly stressful because you don't really feel that you can enjoy your pregnancy as much as you want to, right? Because if you're like me at all, you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Every time you pee, you're wiping, checking for blood. If one day you're nauseous and the next day you're not, like, you're always waiting for the next shoe to drop. Like, it never ends. It never ends. And I'm proof of that because I'm 14 weeks. I'm in my second trimester. My baby is fine. And I still worry every single day, the minute I open my eyes. So it's very, very frustrating and difficult. And it's admirable to have a baby or try to have a baby after a loss, but it's just, your innocence is gone, you know, and your joy is just taken away. So that's something I definitely struggled with my entire first trimester, and I feel like I'll struggle all the way until my delivery. You have the resources to help you. You have literature, you have medical equipment, which I'll get into in a second. You have all of these different things to help you. Now, what I will say is, the first thing you definitely need to do is you need to find a doctor that is in your corner. My doctor's an hour away from my house. I don't like that she's an hour away from my house. But I wouldn't have any other doctor because she was very empathetic with David and I. When it came to our miscarriage, she tried to find the best solution for me, and when she realized those weren't working, she didn't lie to me. You know, I miscarried from November to January. I bled, and I did not want a DNC. I didn't want to be in a hospital during COVID. And she was like, how long are you going to put yourself through this? How long are you going to go for sonogram after sonogram? Obviously something is stuck. Let me help you. Let me get it out. And for those people that are like, oh, they're looking out for themselves, it's money. No, because she could have very well continued to bill my insurance for sonogram after sonogram until whatever it was finally came out. So she is very thorough. She's very thorough. She's very attentive to my needs. I've had her paged. I would say I'm 14 weeks. She's been paged maybe 4 times throughout my pregnancy so far, and I'm not even at the halfway point yet. I'm not even 20 weeks. And she's patient. She doesn't get annoyed. She doesn't like have anything passive aggressive to say. She doesn't do anything like that. So I like her a lot, and you should definitely, I know finding a doctor is a pain. It definitely is. But you should find somebody who's in your corner, and if you don't like that person, shop around. Because I had a doctor's office, a OBGYN, prior to her that had no record of me getting an IUD with them, had no record of me being a patient there. And I went there every year for my PAP, and they put in my IUD, and they took it out. No record of me. So I don't know what kind of professionalism is that, but I had to verify myself in so many different ways, and they still couldn't find me. Address, date of birth. My first name is spelled differently compared to others that have the name Emily, and couldn't find me at all. So that is, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Find a doctor that you like, find a doctor that knows what they're doing, and find a doctor that respects your values, your beliefs, what you want, what you don't want. Symptoms. So prior to taking the test and finding out the test was positive, I had a few symptoms which carried on throughout the entire first trimester, and I still have. Like, for example, one of the ones that I still have is this child is hot-blooded. So I literally lay in front of my air conditioner at night, and there'll be a nice breeze outside where you won't need the air conditioner. I'm on fire all the time. I'm sweating through clothes. I've tried different blankets. You name it, I'm sweating. I'm washing my hair now more than ever, which is a pain in the ass because I hate doing it as often as I've been doing it. You're probably wondering, well, then why the hell are you flat ironing your hair? Because I got tired of looking like the freaking a used mop. So I had to do something. And plus, for every day that I leave it like this, it sheds, it falls out. So, definitely hot-blooded. My breast, like I said, this is not, sorry guys, the camera got hot. So my breast grew and grew and grew and grew until one day at work they broke a bra, and then like 2 weeks after they broke another bra, so I can no longer wear normal bras, which I guess is fine. I mean, I wear sports bras, but I hate sports bras because it's like having one big boob. So my breast definitely went through changes. Morning sickness. So my morning sickness is definitely interesting. It definitely has tapered off. I say that when I threw up this morning. However, during the first trimester, I only threw up once, and the rest was like a gagging feeling. So like if my stomach was empty, or if something smelled a type of way or tasted a type of way, I couldn't do it. Another thing was there were so many things I loved prior to pregnancy that right now I can no longer have because they make me so sick. I didn't really have too much fatigue until towards the end. I did have cramping, which was kind of frustrating because you automatically think something's wrong if you start cramping, especially if you've experienced a loss. And apart from that, I did have round ligament pain, which, oh my god, like there were days that I woke up screaming. It was so bad, and I think it's because I'm carrying the future Hulk or She-Hulk. I feel like that is it for symptoms. Next, onto cravings. So my cravings have definitely been way different than last pregnancy. I don't know what it is with Panera and pregnancy, but both pregnancies I craved Panera. Once I had a hankering for crab legs for like a week, and then it was time to eat the crab legs, and then I didn't want them, so I ended up not having crab legs. I love anything that's spicy, so if I had scrambled eggs, they had to have jalapenos on them, they had to have hot sauce. Those hot flaming Cheetos, I had to have those. The Sabret, or Sabret, whatever the hot dog brand, however you pronounce it, the hot sausage that they make, chef's kiss with some spicy brown mustard. There's nothing like it. Okay guys, I'm back. It was entirely too hot in the bathroom and I needed to get this hair done, and then the battery died. So where were we? Hot chips, hot sausage. I craved pretty much salty and savory stuff up until recently. I had a week where I wanted sour Skittles, banana bread, cold cuts. I've been having such a hankering for a cold turkey breast, American cheese, lettuce, tomato, mayo, bodega sandwich. And I feel like I'm not going to lose that craving until this baby comes out. But I tried all of these gender prediction things online with heart rate, craving, carrying high, carrying low. It was honestly anybody's game. We do have the gender of our baby. That will be released in a separate video, probably the week after this video. But it is being filmed tonight, so you should get that ASAP. I want to talk about things that helped me throughout my first trimester. Some of them still do, some of them I don't need as much. The first is the Pink Stork Morning Sickness Tea. So this tea comes in a little canister. It has several packets. It's pretty pricey, to be honest. I think it's like 16 bucks a can. But when I tell you it is a game changer, it's this ginger orange tea. And it's not the kind of ginger tea that's strong, like that ginger taste. It's actually very flavorful. I got tired of having it hot, especially running so hot, so I started having it cold. It instantly nipped my morning sickness in the butt. Like, my morning sickness was so bad sometimes that I couldn't even sleep. I would have a couple sips of this at night. I would make it cold, stick it in the freezer, go take a shower, and get it before going to bed, and it would be nice and cold. A couple sips of that, I was able to sleep with no problem. Another thing that has been a godsend also is my U-shape pregnancy pillow. This pillow helps to elevate my head, prop me in different positions to help me sleep. As my bump is getting bigger, it's also helping me to support my bump on a pillow so I don't feel like I'm leaning forward. And it's definitely very beneficial to elevate my head. I have something called pregnancy rhinitis, which my mucous membranes are swollen because of the estrogen in my blood, causing me to have a blockage in my nose. So I consistently have a runny nose, and I consistently have a blocked nose at night. This pillow helps to elevate me and keep me up, so I'm able to support my bump but also be elevated to get a decent night's sleep. I say decent because I still get up at least twice to pee. My Sonaline B Doppler, I'm going to do a whole separate video on this Doppler. This Doppler is both a blessing and a curse, but I'll just touch on the blessing. This helps me to hear the baby in between appointments. This helps me to make sure he's okay. I had a day a couple weeks ago that I was out all day. It was 95 degrees. I definitely feel like I didn't drink enough water, and this helped me to check the baby when I got home to make sure everything is okay. Again, I'm going to do a detailed review on it. They only give you this much ultrasound gel, but my suggestion to you is do not go out and buy ultrasound gel. You can buy aloe. It's good for the skin, and honestly, it works just as good. The Lifesavers O-shaped spearmints and also peppermints, those help to curb morning sickness. The red and white striped peppermints helped for a little bit, but then after a while, the baby did not like the first sweet taste of the mint. So I would put one in my mouth and I would instantly spit it right back out because I did not like that sweet taste, which is why I transitioned to the spearmint Lifesavers mints. That's the winter green mints. Those help a lot. They help especially after you throw up and you don't have access to a toothbrush. If you could just rinse your mouth and then pop a mint in, that's good. I talk to people all day. It helps to have that in my mouth while dealing with customers in between sips of water. That helps as well. To curb morning sickness, honestly, the best remedy I would suggest is, it sounds like a broken record, but water. Tons and tons and tons and tons of water. Your baby will not benefit from water. You both benefit between keeping your skin clear, supporting your skin with all that stretching, your uterus stretching. The water is definitely a plus. I caved and bought myself a pair of Crocs because at work I do stand a lot and I was looking up the best shoes to wear to support your feet while standing. Crocs came up. I made that purchase, and it just happy accident that they're a trend now. Everybody has a freaking pair. So I wear those sometimes with socks, sometimes without socks. They help support my feet, and honestly, it's a quick, easy slip-on shoe for those days that I don't feel like bending down and tying any shoes. Lastly, this sounds like such a cliche, but what to expect when you're expecting the book. Honestly, one of the best investments. David actually gifted me this book last year, and after I miscarried, I kind of tucked it away, and I didn't really touch it until I got to like my second month. But you name it, there is something in this book for your pregnancy. Whether you're trying to figure out whether or not you should buy at-home Doppler, spotting, round ligament pain, specific cravings, heartburn, which I happen to have a lot of, and I personally have never been one to experience heartburn. All of these things are in this book, and what it does is it breaks down month by month of your pregnancy, what to expect, what your body's going through, and what the baby's going through, which helps you to get an understanding of why you're feeling the things that you're feeling. So I have a best practice at night, maybe once every other week. I have my nighttime routine where I take a nice shower, I unwind, I light a candle, and I have like about 10 minutes of quiet time to myself. It helps that David is not home. David works nights, so I actually have quiet in the house, no distractions, and I'm able to sit and read my book and have that bonding time between myself and the baby. And sometimes I even read it out loud so the baby can hear me reading. Lastly, what has been a godsend is the Burt's Bees Mama Bees Belly Butter. I believe it's called Belly Butter. There's a picture of it in here somewhere. This has been amazing. Now, the only con about it that I don't like is it has like this smell. I would say like melted crayon. A light fragrance of melted crayon, because it's not that full-on potent melted crayon, but it's like, it doesn't have a sweet smell. It doesn't have a flowery smell, but this is a nice, thick butter cream that what it does is you douse your belly in it. Best practice is twice a day. I try to aim for at least once a day. It really helps with the stretch marks. I have done, and you don't stop at your stomach. Like I've done my stomach, I've done my breast, I've done my side, because I noticed like my hips are getting a little more meat on them than they've had before. This is to help your skin with those stretch marks, to moisturize it enough so you don't. Stretch marks are inevitable. You're not going to get through a pregnancy without at least one stretch mark. But this helps to get majority of those stretch marks, prevent them from happening. And if some already happened, which I didn't notice, but David did, I started to get stretch marks without even realizing. It helps to ease the discomfort of that stretched skin. So that's something I definitely recommend. If you don't want the Burt's Bees, they also have like a Earth Mama. I think Aveeno has their own brand. There's a bunch of different ones, but I definitely recommend that one. Our due date. So our baby is due January 28th. They can come earlier, they can come later. To be honest, I would love for them to come a day later because it would be the same day as David and I's making official relationship anniversary. And much as I want them to come a day later, I really feel they're gonna come potentially a little earlier because they are measuring big. When I went at 9 weeks, they were measuring at 10. 13 weeks, measuring at 14 weeks. The only scan that we weren't 100% sure was our 13-week appointment, and that's what I'm gonna lead into my next chapter. How many ultrasounds? So I feel like this definitely is beneficial to people who have different insurance plans and they're not really sure how many ultrasounds they're entitled to. Keep in mind, I live in the US. Everybody's insurance carrier is different on what they cover, what they don't cover. Okay. When I found out I was pregnant, I went for a 7-week scan in which I had several blood tests done for myself, for baby, and for the fact that I had high blood pressure at that first visit. 2 weeks later, I really felt that there was something wrong with the baby because I had a sudden loss in symptoms. I didn't have as much nausea. I didn't have as much breast soreness. I didn't have as much fatigue. So I really felt that there was something wrong because that's what happened to me when I miscarried last year. Phoned my doctor. I was able to get an appointment with the on-call doctor in which she did another scan. I don't know if every doctor's office will do that. I personally feel that they did me the favor to give me peace of mind. But again, every doctor's office is different and it really depends on the relationship you have with your doctor and how many scans you're covered by. Because I think I know because I called. My insurance will cover as many scans as needed as long as the doctor puts in the medical coding that the scan is absolutely necessary, in which she did because I ended up not having to pay for anything for that scan. I was scheduled for a 10-week appointment after that. So even though I went to that 9-week appointment with the on-call doctor, I still had an appointment at 10 weeks in which my doctor completed the non-invasive prenatal testing, also known as the NIPT. The NIPT is when they take 2 tubes of blood. They are testing in your blood, little medical lesson real quick. In your blood, there are fragments of your baby's DNA. They are found as early as 9 weeks. These fragments test for Down syndrome, trisomy 21, trisomy 18, sex chromosome abnormalities, etc. By looking for that, it also has the gender of your baby. So this is why some people choose not to go with this testing. I chose to go with this testing because I never found out why I miscarried. I never knew what caused it, what type of chromosome abnormality my baby had. So I wanted to run every test possible to make sure the baby was okay and to make sure I was okay. So my doctor at my 10-week appointment did a scan, saw the baby, heart rate was good, size was good, everything was working accordingly, and she also did the NIPT. Along with the NIPT testing is also a scan called the nuchal translucency scan. This scan is anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes. The doctor is basically measuring this amount of liquid that's behind the baby's neck in the womb, and usually that measurement is factored into an equation, and the doctor is able to test the probability of Down syndrome in the baby. Be prepared when going to this appointment. I was told I didn't need a full bladder. I actually didn't, but the last appointment they said I needed a full bladder. Depending on your size, I know I'm a little thick. This scan is the first scan that they do your ultrasound on top instead of going in transvaginally. My baby would not cooperate. They kept giving the tech their back. They kept giving the tech they were laying on their stomach when they needed to lay on their side so the doctor could literally measure from crown to rump. And the baby would just not cooperate, so she got 3 different sizes. She got 13 weeks, 2 days, 13 weeks, 6 days, 13 weeks, 0 days. So she couldn't really figure out what the size was, but we do know that the baby test passed, flying colors, everything came out great. And that was the same day that we found out the gender, because with the NIPT, the doctor got the results, but we asked her to put them in an envelope for us because we did not want to find out over the phone. At least I didn't. David didn't care. But yeah, apart from that, so far smooth sailing. Baby is doing great. Baby is thriving. Baby is not so active in the morning until I eat something, and I know they're active because I start to feel all the ways, especially nauseous. It seems like my nausea is going to linger my entire pregnancy, but hopefully it doesn't linger as bad as it did between that 7 to 10 week point. I feel like that's when it was the roughest. But best part of first trimester recaps is you get a bump shot. Let me get up. Hope you're able to see. May have to tippy toe. But this, and you're probably going to see Nala hair, but this is my bump. 14 weeks. Excuse my boobs. But here is my bump. You can't really tell from the front. I could tell because Mario's shoe gets bigger. But definitely feel like I'm showing higher, but carrying lower. Because when I go to hear the baby, they're like down here 99% of the time. Okay guys, that is my first trimester recap and why I've been MIA from YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. It feels so great to be back. I'm definitely going to get back on the consistency wave before I let you guys go. So, update on the channel. It's still going to be a vlogging channel. It's still going to be a review channel. However, because of my pregnancy, I am going to take a step back from striking while the iron is hot in terms of reviews and release dates. I did it for Godzilla. I did it for Mortal Kombat. But the thing is, because of this pregnancy, so many videos they were never filmed when the iron was hot because Cruella came out, that happened, Black Widow came out, the first Purge came out, Love Victor Season 2 came out. All of these things came out that I missed. So what I'm going to do is I am going to backtrack on some of those reviews, and I think we're just going to leave reviews for Throwback Review Thursday, and it's not going to be so much when something first comes out. It's going to be preference of the film or the TV show, whether or not I feel it's review worthy, and going from there. So that is definitely where the channel is going to continue to prosper, between the reviews and the vlogs. Obviously expect more pregnancy vlogs, mommy vlogs as we prepare for our baby. We do not anticipate moving anytime soon, so stay tuned for videos of sharing our 1-bedroom with our newborn and videos like that, prepping for our baby shower. There are going to be videos of who we chose to register with and why, pros and cons of both. Again, keep an eye out for that Sonoline B Doppler, and I'll see you guys next time. If you haven't subscribed already to EP Life, what are you doing? The best is yet to come. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button. That way you're notified of all the latest at EP Life, and I'll see you guys next time.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City